What's going on, everybody? This is Brad from the Rules of Villainy podcast coming at you with another set championship recap here from this past week. In the third week of Archazia's Island set championships, we had three different tournaments here in St. Louis this past weekend, and I have the winning decks that I want to share with you today. Hope you enjoy. All right, our first deck of the week was from Saturday, a 17-person tournament over at Yeti Gaming. The top deck of the day was Steel Song by Nick. Nick surprised me, as we talked about in the local meta report just this past week. I've always known him to be a Emerald Steel player, so him whipping out this Steel Song for a big meta read is what he told me for the following day, because he 3-0'd on Friday night with Emerald Steel, comes back Saturday for a set championship with Steel Song and takes it down, and pretty decisively too. Looking at his records, a lot of them were 2-0s, and seems like he played this very well, as opposed to the other decks that we've seen in the meta reports these past weeks. He favors the Robin Hood package, the 1-drop Robin Hood that can shift into the 5-cost Robin Hood on turn 3. Looks like he is running 6, 10, 18 songs, including those 4 whole new worlds, to really switch up the game and mess up the opponent's hand if available on turn 3 with that shift package. He still fancies the Daisy. I know some decks have been taking Daisy out in favor of more singers, but one Naveen, the 4-cost Naveen that brings out a free song, is so much fun. Like to see him popped up. I was trying to play Steel Song this past week and forgot to take Naveen with me, so always happy to see him in there. Bianca is something that Kirsten here at Rules of Villainy has been very high on as well. 6-cost Bianca, but only 4 if you have an ally on board. Plenty of allies in this deck to trigger that. And of course, one of my favorite shifts, the big Cindy. When she comes out, she can just wreak havoc and challenge ready characters whenever a song is played. So pretty solid deck, pretty standard Steel Song, piloted very well by Nick. His matchups for the day was against Steel Amethyst with a 2-1 win, a Ruby Amethyst 2-0, and then another Steel Amethyst 2-0 before IDing rounds 4 and 5. In his top cut, he played the same matchup, Megan from the Rules of Villainy here, for another 2-0, Amethyst Steel. Chip on Amber Steel with Just in Time in the deck. I'm really curious what that deck list is. I'm probably going to have to talk to Chip and see what that looked like, because Just in Time is a spicy card to bring out your 5-cost or less character for free on turn 3. So curious to see what that looked like. But his final match was a rematch from the Grapes Game Set Championship. His first round in the top cut was against Ace, who ended up winning that one on Emerald Amethyst Birds deck. Nick was the top seed in this tournament, which gave him the advantage of going first in every game of the top cut, and he ended up taking that game 2-0 for a little bit of retribution from last week or 2 weeks ago at Grapes. So congratulations to Nick. Well done on doing it with a deck that I suspect you're not as familiar with, knowing that you've always been on Emerald Steel, but it just goes to show that you got the power to take this deck and take it down. So more power to you. Congratulations, and I'm sure we'll see you on here again soon. All right, moving on to our second deck of the day over at Realms of Gaming in Troy, Illinois, a 21-person set championship taken down by Blurple. And it was no easy feat, for he had to wade the waters of the Azurite Sea in playing 4 different, because he played the same deck twice, Ruby Sapphire DKP lists. That is no easy feat to get past. Blurple, though, found a way to do it all the way to the finals with a 2-1 win against, believe it or not, a Ruby Sapphire DKP list, which was a round 5 rematch from Swiss. But looking down through his entire playlist here, he had a Ruby Amethyst Traditional, a Amber Steel aggro. He conceded the third game to his son on the DKP list, as well as 3 and 4. He took down round 4. Same Ruby Sapphire, and lost his only match of the day to round 5, which ultimately the rematch in the top cut he got his vengeance for with the win for the entire set championship. His top cut was also Ruby Sapphire and Amethyst Steel, and he found a way through it with this deck. I've been hot on the Jafar deck right now, but he's proving with this deck that he doesn't need to make Blurple more spicy. He can just play the traditional Blurple for the most part, add a few tools here to help him get through the evasive meta, including the Peter Pan Shadow Finder, Rules of Villainy Villain of the Week in the past, to pair him up and make your Iagos have rush, or any evasive character that you have come out with rush. But that little bit of extra from Peter Pan really helped out what he said with the crab, the pans, really helped out with the manners. He was only really in there to deal with the Diablos that he never saw. And then the Ursula as well was a good tech card for us. He was prepared to see a lot of songs. You ramp up to Ursula, get her out, and then suddenly your singers can't sing anymore. You can still play your songs, but with her on the board, everything has to be hard cast. So didn't really have to deal with it. He said that he got her on the board and was able to quest for 3. Just a big body, big quester that really sealed up the game for him in a lot of ways. Some changes that he would make. The 5-cost spell was mostly ink, he said, in this particular day. He would probably drop that down from, I think he has 3 in here, down to 2. And he was even thinking about taking out his 1-cost Diablos to up his Iago and adding Tamatoa to the deck, which he did not play today specifically because the only Tamatoas that he had was in Aiden, his son's deck, that was playing DKP, the third rounder. So ultimately, just a masterclass in a Blurple showing there, and just an absolute sea of red-blue. But he found a way through it, and no surprise. I've loved Blurple for a long time. It seems like he knows the deck very well and managed to get a set championship out of it. So congratulations to Jared, and we will see you again, I'm sure, on another meta report or set championship report as we approach the reign of Jafar. All right, our final deck of the week comes from the Underground Dojo in Collinsville, Illinois, where I won my set championship last set. Place near and dear to my heart. I wish I could have made it out there, but instead, we have the Reckless One taking it down in a 22-person tournament. Ron with Ruby Sapphire Item Storm takes it down. If you're familiar with this video series at all, we just talked about this deck in the meta report last week. It is a force to be reckoned with. Who needs Hiram when you have Maurice's Workshop? He has 20 plus items in this deck, so every time he plays one of those, he can pay 1 ink, which he has a plethora of, from Maurice's Workshop to draw a card. So he's never running shy on cards, never running shy on ink. He has everything he needs to build up his board and take yours down. He uses the Sapphire Coil to reduce the strength for every time he inks of one of your characters or multiple of your characters, so that he can either Sisu it or Brawl it or whatever it takes to keep his characters on live when he Maui's it. It's total board control, total item shop, and he takes it down with a Tamatoa dime at the end. He has so much ink that he can play both of them at the same time. I've watched him play this deck for over a week now, and every time I'm just blown away by the amount of stuff on the board. And unless you're running flatten, there's nothing you can do about it. So that is the one, aside from super aggro, that is the one thing that can just absolutely destroy this deck is a Steel Song slotting in a find them and flatten them to remove all of those items when you think you've got it all locked up. It is absolutely insane. Ron he's been so close throughout the entire set championship season so far. So I'm so happy to see him take it down here, and so happy to see that Villain Andy, was his set 5 draw, or his round 5 draw, and his round 8 win, and which I believe Andy conceded to him in the interest of time and friendship. So congratulations to him. Such a great showing. I don't have all of his matchups here, but I know that he piloted this well. He's been practicing very hard with it. So I'm very, very happy for Ron and interested to see what he's playing next. I've heard on the grapevine that he might be testing the waters of Blurple for a little bit. So I'm very excited to see that play out. And maybe, just maybe, he'll get another one in the final week of the set championships, which is coming up this weekend. So that being said, that's it for this week. I hope everybody enjoyed that and got some ideas. If you're trying to still win your Hero Hamada like I am, maybe these decks will help you decide, maybe I can run something like this, or maybe this is what I'm going to be running into. Whatever it is, I just appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. If you do like this kind of content, please like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, because this isn't the only content we do here on Rules of Villainy. We actually have a podcast proper that is more important than my meta reports, and hope that you check that out. We have so much fun doing that, and none of this would exist without that podcast itself. So thank you for tuning in. I hope you had a good time. I hope you learned something, and I wish you luck in the final week of set championships. And maybe if you're local, I can be talking about your deck next week. Thanks.